Hello and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. About the CO2 removal for the research rocket, I said I will get to it. Now is the time, cause if we see, it has filled a layer. And this pump is made so it only sucks gas from the lowest layer. It should start pumping out until we have 100 grams of CO2. That oxygen tile is gonna go eventually and give its place to CO2. The good thing is that it doesn't consume a lot of power, it only activates when there is enough CO2, but the downside is that anything dropped in the CO2 will off gas. And we have one layer of CO2. The duplicants don't seem to have trouble cause I think they breathe from the second tile, so we can have the first layer covered in CO2 and they don't hold their breaths. I want to build slickster ranches, but this excavation is still going on. I think a quick time lapse is going to help. I'm back. To feed the slicksters, I need to produce CO2. I'm going to wild plant arbor trees here, then I will turn the wood into ethanol, which makes CO2 and polluted dirt as byproducts. Then I'm gonna burn the ethanol, which makes more CO2, and I'll even get some polluted water. I will explain more when it's built. Right now I have to plant a lot of arbor trees, 40 to be exact. While I'm planting, I think I will do some other things. I see you dropped a seed. I caught it in the air. I don't have that many seeds. Seed duplication to the rescue. I think I will turn this whole place into a carbon dioxide room. Before I forget, I am taming this steam vent. Cooling the steam down and condensing it into water is my plan. Then I will use the hot water for oxygen. I need to vacuum this place too. For power, I was gonna connect it to the main grid, but I changed my mind and just made it into its own grid. Oh, I have to cool that transformer and coal generator. I'll change the cooling loop when I'm finished with filling the steam room with water. Now I just have to vacuum all of this. I can't do that while the steam vent is active though. Soon it will go dormant. 2.7 cycles until dormancy. I have brought this naphtha bottle here. I will empty it to stop the gas from going in. After 3 cycles, I'll be back to start vacuuming. Also, if you noticed, Somnium needed a restart again. I really have to recruit 2 sleepers. While I was waiting, I brought a pip and planted like 6 trees, and I can start planting the second row. Cuddle Pip gonna help me do it. Also have to say that you plant from right to left. That's what these crown moldings are for, to force the pips to do that. I'll keep planting in the background. Back to the steam vent, I have fixed the coolant pipe. Now I'm just gonna build pumps to start vacuuming. Be right back when it's vacuumed. And here I have to move this pip now, cause the first row is finished. Okay, done. A few cycles later, I have only 2 more rows to plant, and I'm starting to build the ethanol distilleries. Also opened up a carbon dioxide geyser by accident. Each ethanol distillery needs, I think, between 7 and 9 wild planted arbor trees to run all the time. 7 is too low, it may take some time for the duplicates to harvest, and 9 is too much, so I went with 8 for each, and I have 5 rows of 8, so I have built 5 distilleries. And the generators will burn the ethanol that is made and produce CO2 and water. And I will ship the wood with conveyor cause I don't want anything left manual. Let me find a good position for the camera. That should do. Automate as much as we can, that's the plan. Arbor trees are all planted. I need to allow harvest for them to be harvested. I have to pump out the random gases somehow and replace it with CO2. I think the waiting for CO2 to fill is not gonna work, cause it just takes so long. I have to pump the gas out. Gonna go build a few pumps. All fixed. No more unwanted gases here. It's all CO2. The pressure is not enough though, and if I drop something here, it will off gas. So I better be cautious. I like to keep it the way it is. I opened up this carbon dioxide geyser to help. It's a bit cold, but it's fine. You can see the pressure is low and the trees are not growing. For a Slickster Ranch area, I am replacing the floor back to mesh tiles. Let me speed this up by deconstructing more of this wall. I finished up with the Slickster Ranches. If I check the room overlay, they all should be 96 tiles. When I move them here, they will consume the CO2 and drop oil or petroleum if they are molten Slicksters, which I prefer them to be. I'm just building a place here to drown the eggs. The arbor trees are almost ready for harvest, and when they are harvested I can start making ethanol, which also makes polluted dirt, but since the pressure here is good, it's fine, but I wanted to make sure. That's why I placed a blob of naphtha where the polluted dirt gets dropped, so that there is no chance it can off gas. Temperature wise, it is too cold for molten Slicksters. I'm just gonna ignore this for now until it becomes a problem. I will see if they will survive or not. But if they didn't, I will heat this place up. If the distilleries start working, they will heat up, and I built temperature shift place to transfer that heat. Also, this transit tube is now functioning. This will give me an achievement later. Greasora update. I made a mistake and accidentally opened the sulfur geyser while I was building something to tame it. And that wasn't the only mistake I made, because if you see, I vacuumed the steam turbine room but then noticed it wasn't even necessary. But never mind, I made it vacuum, so I'd like to keep it that way. I'll have to pour some oil down to act as a transfer medium to cool the turbines down. I have to build a heavy watt conductive joint plate here, but since this room is a vacuum, I have to use some tricks to not break this vacuum. First I'll do the oil on the floor and then I'll get to the joint plate after. I added water and cooled down the liquid sulfur to solidify, and now I want to pour a drop of oil with this bottle emptier. Done! And now seal it back. Okay then, I can build the joint plate. Oh, new species scanned. Slicksters, that means I turned it into molten slickster. That should get moved to the slickster farm, I think, by itself. Oops, I forgot to disable the bottle emptier. Mistakes are always made in this game. Joint plate built, I need to deconstruct these tiles. Also made a liquid lock out of naphtha with vacuum in the middle. For pipe overlay, we have water cooling loop for now, cooling down the turbines and the sulfur a little bit. It's hot because the aquatuner is not connected to power yet. I don't think I set the pipe thermosensor. Let me set it to above 29. And there it goes. The sulfur gets shipped out for now. And the power is out as expected. Anyway, let me seal this place. Hello, molten larvae. The petroleum they make is already hot. I didn't see it, but I guess it was 80 degrees Celsius or something, which is above their livable range. If they eat cold CO2 and make hot petroleum, I guess this could heat up the place perfectly. The carbon dioxide is not hot enough to their liking, but I hope it can lay at least 2 eggs before it dies, so I can multiply them fast. I don't know what happens when their body temperature gets too low. Is their health gonna go down until they die, or they will die instantly? The temperature here will go up. Right now it's about 40 degrees Celsius. 2 of the distilleries has started working and soon to be more, because the first row was harvested now. They're getting shipped by hand though, because no one supplied 3P bots. Let me increase their priority then. For the eggs, I just made this contraption here with this critter trap. I thought maybe I can let 8 eggs incubate here on their own, and when they are hatched they get caught in the trap and someone comes and moves them, and the rest of the eggs go and get drowned. And this loader should be set to meat. I already built conveyor rail to the kitchen for the meat. Now that it's starting up, I may as well connect this pipe to burn the ethanol. I just want to check and see what temperature the polluted water is going to come at. It's 40 degrees Celsius, but it will get hotter if the generator is hotter. At least it's hotter than the CO2 in the room. Also, these generators produce a lot of heat. The polluted dirt is gonna get shipped to Sage Hatch Ranch. I am incubating 1 right now, and they convert polluted dirt to coal at 1:1 ratio. Oh, printer pod. I don't really need a duplicate right now. One of the reasons for why I made ethanol loop was to get more water, cause I already emptied the water tank for oxygen. I made a pool here though. I will switch to this. I just noticed I have more than enough data banks in the research rocket. Time to bring our duplicate back home. Actually, let me do it from here. It's way cooler this way. And land here, number 11. Oh, I totally forgot I built this telescope here, so when the rocket lands it gets power and I'll be able to scout the star map. And welcome back! Before you get the chance to exit, you have to wear your Atmosuit back, number 11. There we go. I should set this rocket to grounded too. And I don't want to fill this storage bin with oxalate. You can go, why are you waiting? Now I can finish the research and unlock everything. That is also an achievement. One tiny mistake that I made here. I should have paid more attention. Previously I was shipping the sulfur out as a solid with a conveyor, but after a while I noticed something. You see, the lowest temperature these steam turbines work is with 125 degrees Celsius steam, and the sulfur is liquid at that temperature. And when the sulfur erupts, it is going to heat the steam up, and that activates the steam turbines. Then they cool the steam down to 125 degrees, and then cooled down sulfur has to be pumped out with pipes and drops on a cobalt tile and then solidifies. I'm gonna use the sulfur for food. I'm starting a Sweedle ranch and later I will switch to grapefruit. Sweedles turn sulfur into sucrose and grapefruit plants use sulfur, so all the food here will come from one sulfur geyser. If my math is correct, then we can easily afford to have 8 duplicants. Also, the natural gas vent is now dormant. I think I have enough stored though, I'm not using a lot. Can it last 57 cycles? I don't know, we will see. I have like 600 kilograms stored in gas tanks. And some in the pipes and also in the vent room. Oh, planetoid detected. That must be the telescope at work. That should be our next large asteroid. The radioactive asteroid. Let's check. It has slime mold and metal pore, but has gold volcano and salt water geyser. Oxalate meteor showers. We need to go to this asteroid very soon to get radioactive bees. About the somnium synthesizer, I built the conveyor rail all the way to it, finally, and it goes back all the way to our dreamers where they drop dream journals. There are now 6 sleepers. That should keep the somnium active all the time. Let me disallow other dupes to enter this room. I also built a vent for their oxygen, because they were consuming a lot of oxygen and the pressure went a bit low. I'm doing an experiment in the background. It is considered an exploit. I'm boiling water with liquid tepidizer. Normally they won't go over 75 degrees Celsius, which is not enough to boil the water, but with automation cheat they can. I just want to see what happens if I boil it to steam. Wait, what is that? Is that ethanol I boiled? How? Where did that come from? The pipes aren't broken, they are insulated. Oh, polluted oxygen. Well, that's it now, I have to load back. This test failed. Let me see what printer got for me though. Shovel? I think I wouldn't normally get this option. I think it's because I went to debug mode. I'm gonna load back anyway, just wanted to check the options. Okay, let's connect the power again. And I think I know what happened, I'm just testing again. When these generators have the ethanol in them, it will heat up so fast and it boils. Can you see? It heats up so fast because it's such a low amount of ethanol. And when it goes over 80, it's basically in a gas state, and then it comes out of the generator. Doesn't even damage it though. Anyway, I think I have to come up with a solution for it. I'm not changing the design, cause it took me so long to build this. That is all for this episode. Don't forget to comment your name suggestions, and I hope you enjoyed. Good luck!